Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through all that noise and really get to the interesting stuff hiding right under our noses. Have you ever, scrolled through house listings and just wondered what really makes a home sell fast? Or why one neighborhood feels like a total frenzy and another is just quiet?
Yeah, like what are the forces behind the scenes? Why do some houses just vanish, poof, and others seem to sit there for ages?
Exactly. So today, that's our mission. We're going to unpack that for the Austin area housing market. And we're using data right up to July 18th, 2025.
Hyperlocal focus, right? Zip code by zip code.
That's the plan. We want to give you a real feel for the market pulse, almost street by street. And the key metric we're zeroing in on today is months of inventory.
Ah, yes, a classic. Super useful.
Right. It's pretty straightforward. Basically, it tells us how long it would take to sell all the homes currently listed if, nothing new came on the market. It's a snapshot of supply versus demand.
So what are the thresholds we're looking at?
Good question. So if you see less than, say, 4.9 months of inventory, that's your classic seller's market. They really have the upper hand.
Right.
If it's somewhere between 5 and 6.9 months, things are more balanced. We call that neutral territory.
Makes sense.
And then if you hit 7 months or more, that's definitely a buyer's market. That's where you, the buyer, start to get more leverage.
Got it. Sellers, neutral, buyers, based on that inventory number.
Exactly. And understanding these numbers, these specific zip code details, it's like a shortcut to being genuinely clued in on Austin's housing scene.
Whether you're actually planning to buy or sell.
Or even if you're just curious about the city's economic pulse, this deep dive is really for you. So let's jump right in.
Let's do it. Where are we starting?
Okay, let's kick things off with what we're calling the hot zone. These are the spots where sellers are, well, pretty clearly still calling the shots.
Homes moving fast, lots of competition.
You got it. And leading the pack is 78728. That's North Austin, Wells Branch area. It's got just 3.03 months of inventory. I mean, that's incredibly low. The tightest in the whole region, actually.
Wow, 3.03. And the price point there.
Median price is sitting at $448,750. Homes there are just not sticking around long at all.
I bet. What else is in this hot zone?
Right behind it, almost neck and neck, is 78759, Northwest Austin. It's at 3.04 months of inventory.
Okay, still super low.
Yeah, and the median price is a bit higher, $625,000. Definitely reinforces that strong seller's market feel. And then there's 78749, think Western Oaks, Sendera area. That one's at 3.27 months.
Still well below that 4.9 threshold.
Oh, yeah. Median price there, $579,450. And the pace is just rapid. Homes are typically going under contract in just a little over 2 months on average.
So for buyers looking in 28, 59, or 49, speed is key.
Absolutely. You need to be ready, prepared, act fast. But for sellers, it's still a really good time in those specific spots.
It really is remarkable how that low inventory just cranks up the pressure for buyers. It makes you wonder, though, what actually works for buyers in those areas? Is it just about throwing cash around?
Good question.
Or, are there other ways to make an offer stand out when things are that intense? It's not just being fast. It's got to be smart, too, right, within that specific dynamic.
That's a really crucial point. It's not just speed, it's strategy. Okay, so those are the fast lanes. What about the areas where things are maybe a bit more steady?
The middle ground.
Exactly. Let's dive into the neutral zone. These are the areas where it's not clearly a buyer's or a seller's game right now. Things are, well, balanced.
Finding that equilibrium.
Yeah, in this dynamic market.
Yeah.
So consider 78731, that's Northwest Hills. It's showing 5.3 months of inventory.
Okay, so right in that 5 to 6.9 range.
Right. Now, the median price there is pretty hefty, $1.15 million.
Wow, okay. So balanced, but definitely a higher-end market segment.
Definitely. Then let's shift over to East Austin, 78723. Also firmly neutral at 5.58 months of inventory.
And the price there.
Median price is $595,000. Seems like it's just holding steady, Moderate activity from both buyers and sellers, nothing too crazy.
Stable.
Seems like it. And nearby, 78722, that's the Cherrywood area. It's showing 5.06 months. Median price, $550,000.
Also neutral.
Yep. And homes there tend to move in under 50 days usually. So it's a solid, stable zone, but without that frantic pace we saw in the hot zone.
The stability in the neutral areas is pretty interesting. Thinking beyond just price. Maybe it's things like local zoning or the type of houses there, the age and style.
Could be.
Or even just really established stuff like good schools or parks that keep demand consistent. It sort of smooths out the inventory swings you might see elsewhere.
Yeah, like a long-term desirability factor kind of buffering the market volatility.
Exactly. Something more fundamental at play.
That's a great way to think about it. All right, let's pivot now to the other end of the spectrum, the cool down zone.
Okay, where buyers get more of an edge.
That's right. This is where the market slows down and buyers genuinely start to get the upper hand. If you're looking for maybe more negotiating power and a less pressured experience,
Right.
this is where you look.
Right, so where are we seeing this?
Let's start right downtown, 78701. It has a really significant 11 months of inventory.
11 months. That's well into buyer's territory.
Yeah. Median price there is $740,000. But with that much inventory, homes are clearly sitting for a while.
Which gives buyers leverage.
Serious negotiating power. Lots of room to shop around, take your time, breathe a little.
Okay, downtown. Where else?
78704, always a popular area, South Austin. It's clocking in at nearly 10 months of inventory.
Wow, almost as high as downtown.
Almost. Median price there is higher, though, $850,000. But the story's similar. A lot of homes for sale, and they aren't moving too quickly.
Any others in this zone?
One more key one is out towards the lake, 78645, Lago Vista. Also sitting at 11 months of inventory.
Same as downtown. Interesting.
Yeah. Median price there is $564,500. So again, for patient buyers, these areas 01, 04, Lago Vista, these are where you can potentially find real opportunities and significant leverage.
That data definitely points to buyer leverage, no doubt.
Yeah.
But, it's probably worth mentioning the trade-offs, too.
Like what?
Well, like downtown, those high-rises often come with pretty high HOA fees, right? That adds to your total cost.
Yeah.
Or Lago Vista, that commute isn't for everyone.
True. It's not just about inventory numbers.
Exactly. You have to weigh the total cost, the lifestyle fit that comes along with having that buyer power. It's the whole picture.
That's a really important distinction for sure. Okay, now let's shift gears a bit and look outside the immediate city core. Let's talk suburban strongholds.
Okay, areas outside Austin proper that are showing strength.
Yeah, some showing surprising demand, actually. And Pflugerville, specifically the 78660, is definitely one of the standouts this
At
month.
Pflugerville, okay. What are the numbers there?
It's got 4.37 months of inventory, so firmly in seller's market territory.
Right, under that 4.9 mark.
Yep. And the median price is $443,826, which is, a pretty compelling mix of relative affordability combined with strong demand.
Yeah, that combo is tough to find these days.
It really is. So buyers looking just north of Austin, they should definitely be paying attention here. Inventory is tight, homes are moving.
Good tip. Any other suburban spots standing out?
Yeah, a couple others worth noting. Kyle, that's 78640, is solid with 4.06 months of inventory. Still a seller's market.
Okay.
And check out Hutto, 78634. It's at a very tight 3.17 months.
Wow, that's almost as low as 78728.
Pretty close. And Hutto really stands out for its affordability, too. Median price is just under $400.
So Kyle, and especially Hutto, are looking pretty robust.
Definitely. These areas just outside the city are proving to be, well, surprisingly strong.
If you connect that back to the bigger picture, these suburban areas are often where you see that intersection of affordability, maybe new infrastructure, community growth, and that drives strong, steady demand. It can keep inventory low, even if the wider Austin market is shifting a bit. Growth isn't just happening in Austin anymore.
That's a great point. It really underscores that expansion. Okay, so we've done this granular zip-by-zip tour. What does it all mean when we zoom back out? What's the Austin market snapshot look like overall as of mid-July?
Let's put the pieces together.
All right, so across all the Austin zip codes we looked at, about 37% are currently in a seller's market.
Okay, about a third.
Then 39% are holding steady in that neutral territory, finding that balance.
A slightly larger chunk. Interesting.
Yeah, and that leaves 24% in a buyer's market, offering more breathing room for purchasers.
So roughly a quarter are buyer-friendly.
Exactly. And regionally, across the whole area, the median inventory is 5.3 months.
Right in that neutral zone.
But the average inventory is a bit higher, coming in at 6.12 months.
So the average is pulled up a bit, probably by those high inventory areas like downtown and 78704.
Makes sense.
So what this really tells us is, yes, there are still definitely strong pockets where sellers have the advantage, but a really significant part of the Austin market, maybe even the majority if you combine neutral and buyers.
Right. That's 63%.
Yeah, Over 60% is either moving towards or already is in a more balanced or buyer-friendly state.
Hmm.
It shows just how nuanced the market is. It's not one single story,
Absolutely, not monolithic at all.
which means understanding that local zip code level data isn't just like nice to have. It's crucial, paramount, really, for
Mm.
making smart decisions. It's a mosaic of micro-markets.
Couldn't have said it better. So that's your hyper-local deep dive into the Austin area housing market, zip by zip. And the main takeaway, the central insight here, it seems pretty clear, right?
Yeah.
Real estate just isn't one size fits all. What's happening in one zip code could be, a totally different world just a few miles down the road.
The data tells the story, neighborhood by neighborhood.
It really does. And we genuinely hope this dig dive gives you some power, you know? Whether you're a buyer trying to figure out where you might have some leverage.
Or a seller wondering if now is still your moment in your specific area.
Exactly. This granular knowledge, hopefully, is your secret weapon.
Definitely. And, as you think about all this intricate market map, here's something to chew on.
Okay.
How might just small shifts, subtle changes in inventory, and maybe just one or two more of those neutral zip codes,
Hmm.
how might that tip the whole regional balance? Could that push Austin overall into being clearly buyer-favored, or maybe swing it back towards sellers?
Interesting question.
And maybe think about what else beyond just inventory could be driving those next shifts. Things like new bus lines or rail projects, big changes in school ratings, or maybe a major company moving in or out, or even just big new housing developments finally coming online. What are those local factors you could dig into next?